Guerrilla Cambridge is no more. What does this mean? I will tell you why it's bad news for the PlayStation VR and the future of Killzone in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and don't forget to hit that like button. The creators of Killzone Mercenary and the recently released Riggs, and of course known for the medieval franchise, is closing down as part of the Sony EU restructure program. My thoughts of course go out to those affected. Sony sadly didn't see a reason to keep this super talented Vita and PSVR developer around, and this worries me. I mean, you could say, yeah, Riggs didn't sell well on PlayStation VR. It wasn't in the top 10 of PSVR game sales on the PlayStation Network for 3 months, but is that a surprise? No. I mean, it launched as a full price game alongside a ton of other PSVR games in the launch lineup. And how many PSVR units are sold right now? Well, we still don't have any hard numbers, but maybe around the 600,000 or something like that. So maybe if 10% buys this multiplayer Mac game, then you only have 60,000 copies sold. Yeah, that's not a lot of course. I think Sony already saw this coming. They already knew that they were going to shut down Guerrilla Cambridge after they released Riggs. They already had expectations of the sales of Riggs and just wanted a great core game at the PSVR launch. After that, well, they decided that it was enough. They decided to close a talented studio that gained a lot of knowledge about VR games and handheld titles, and that brings me to another point. It really looks like Sony doesn't want to invest in another PSVR AAA first party game. And this is bad for the VR headset. I've criticized the PSVR lineup of games for a long time now, and even after the PlayStation experience, the show that a ton of PlayStation fans watch that probably bought a PSVR, there were almost no new games. No portion of the show was dedicated to this $400 piece of technology. Right now we have Resident Evil 7 coming, Ace Combat, Farpoint, Starblood Arena, and well, that's about it. The only big game being Resident Evil 7. And no, that's not a Sony first party game. They're not investing in this platform with huge games, huge first party games. Sony is now like, please support our PlayStation VR. Yeah, we just closed down the biggest PSVR exclusive studio we had, but please, come on, bring your games. I can't help but think that this is bad. It really comes down to the fact that Guerrilla Cambridge was a studio to support Sony's second-hand hardware, because Sony wants their first-party studios like Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and even the Amsterdam-based Guerrilla Games to focus on their bread and butter, the PS4 or just the mainline console. Why didn't Naughty Dog make an Uncharted game for the PlayStation Vita? Because Sony wants them to focus on the PS3 and now PS4. Sony Band then instead made Uncharted Golden Abyss, while Naughty Dog was making Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us for the PS3. What's interesting though is that the guys behind Golden Abyss are now making Days Gone. Sony Band proved themselves with games for the handheld. They also made the excellent Resistance Retribution, so now they can finally move on to the big boy. Why give them this chance and not Guerrilla Cambridge? Killzone Mercenary is one of the best PS Vita games and one of the handful of real console type experiences on the handheld. Riggs on the other hand is the best core game for the PlayStation VR right now. It makes smart use of the VR with putting you in a robot because yeah, it's weird to walk in VR, so they thought, hey, let's do Max. The matches are really fun, fast and intense. It's just an exciting game. Both games have a 78 on Metacritic right now, so that's really good. They are a good studio. If you don't want them to make a PS Vita game, you don't want to support the PSVR, why not let them make a new proper PS4 game instead? With Guerrilla Games in Amsterdam working hard on Horizon Zero Dawn, which is probably going to be the big new franchise on the PlayStation platforms, there is a high chance of it getting a sequel. And as far as I know, they don't have the capacity of making a Killzone game alongside Horizon, so why not give the Killzone franchise to Cambridge then? They made Mercenary on the Vita, they know the franchise, they made a great shooter. They could probably do it as well on the PS4, I'm sure of it. This could mean two things. One, Sony doesn't want to invest in a new Killzone game. They see the first person shooter landscape and think, they're fine. I mean, you got Call of Duty, Battlefield, Titanfall, Doom, Overwatch, Destiny, Battlefront, and they also got some deals with the biggest one. At the end of the trailer for Destiny, you see a PlayStation logo, same goes for Battlefront, and with Call of Duty you have of course the exclusive DLC. So why compete with these shooters? Why invest in a new one when you already got third party doing a great job? And you even have them as like a preferred platform. Why make people want to play the Killzone multiplayer when people can already play the way more popular and yeah, maybe even better, Call of Duty and Battlefield multiplayer. The other thing is that Guerrilla Games in Amsterdam could already be working on a new Killzone game. There are 270 people working at Guerrilla Games, so it could be that a small team is doing some Killzone stuff right now while the other ones finish off Horizon. I mean, they said that they want to get back to the Killzone franchise eventually. I just think that Horizon is way more profitable for them, and it's a pretty unique game, with Killzone looking a lot like the other first-person shooters. What it all comes down to is that it's just sad that Sony had to do this, that Sony had to close Guerrilla Cambridge. They could have created an amazing new game for the PlayStation VR, or even a new Killzone game. I totally understand that you don't want Naughty Dog, that could be working on The Last of Us Part 2, to work on this piece of technology that not even 1 million people have right now. I totally get that, but why not keep the studio alive that already gained a lot of knowledge about VR that could help your other studios work on the PS VR that you put out, and could be very useful in the future as well to make more VR games. The situation for PS VR, in my opinion, was already bad, and now it looks even worse. Or, like I already said, why not give Guerrilla Cambridge the chance to create their own new IP on the PlayStation 4, like Sony Band is doing with Days Gone? Why can't they be doing that while Guerrilla Cambridge gets shut down? It just sucks. It's also like Cambridge didn't do anything wrong. Of course, Sony shut down Evolution Studios, that was responsible for Drive Club, because the game was supposed to be a launch game, got delayed by a year, and when it came out it was still broken. Okay, that you shut down that studio, I get it, they screwed you, I totally get it. It still sucks for them, of course, you don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. With Guerrilla Cambridge, they gave you an amazing shooter on the Vita and a great core game on the PSVR. They didn't fuck anything up. Why can't they get another chance? I understand that the business is hard, but this is just a sad decision. What do you think about the Guerrilla Cambridge situation? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, subscribe for more gaming content, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.